All right, 8 o'clock and time to start the session. This week's content is on load testing. There are a variety of tools used for load testing of a website. Most of them can be obtained either free and some are licensed. If you go to http://www.softwaretesting-help.com/performance-testing-tools-testing-tools, you get a list of tools. Now, the tools are very effective, easy to use, and the main purpose of a load testing tool is to establish a site capacity. For example, there's one called Apache JMeter. It's a JavaScript tool. And you can integrate that as part of your test plan for your website. It can be loaded into a server or the network, and it can check the server load, can check the network load, different operating conditions. It was initially designed as a testing tool for websites, but it's later expanded. Java and Apache. Apache is the most singular popular website server, free, open source. Another one, WebLoad, is a load and performance testing tool specifically for web applications. It lets you perform loading and stress testing. So what does stress testing mean? Stress testing means the website is sitting there, people try to log in, and then more people try to log in, more people try to log in, and you get a whole bunch of people, and eventually the website goes, "Ooh, sorry, I cannot handle anymore." And that is the stress testing of the website. And I've used these types of tools to test some websites that I designed. And what they did was they were able to tell me how many simultaneous connections the website would support. Okay. For example, WebLoad has over 3,000 users and has won all types of awards. It works under these systems, operating systems, Windows and Linux. So you have those two options. Here's another tool, and that one, the WebLoad, you're going to have to pay for that. Load Impact. It is a load testing tool used for cloud-based services. And cloud, we've all been talking about cloud for this last week. And it has two parts, a load testing tool and a page analyzer. So what does that mean? So load testing can be tested three different ways. Fixed, how quickly the equipment can ramp up to handle load, and timeout when it throws its hands up in the air and says, sorry, I'm not going to do that anymore. The page analyzer takes statistics from the page and says, oh, you know, we've talked a little bit about this week about keeping cookies and keeping content, and how when you logged into a site, you had the site come back and it said, oh, you know, you bought this last time, maybe you'd be interested in this, that type of thing. So it's going to extract some of that types of information. So here's some closing comments for me on these load testing tools. What they do is they initiate a sequence of steps that the site has to execute. Then they keep adding more steps, as if more users are trying to log in and more users are trying to do something, until the server says, because it says, starts slowing down, because it cannot handle but so much at a time. You've seen that sometimes when you log on to the internet, things go really fast, right? And then sometimes it gets slower and slower and slower and slower. Well, this is the same type of thing. What you're doing is you're looking for site performance degradation. And of course, it is much more important for a small site or a small business to perform than it is possibly a large business. Because just think, if a small business loses 10 sales in a day, that might be all that they were going to make. Whereas a large business might lose 10 sales out of 10,000, right? But it's not just the quantity of sales. It is the percentage of sales lost that day. And you really want to keep your sites up. You want to keep activity running. You want to keep your customers happy. Okay? So we'll see if we have some more content next week on quantum computing and a discussion then. I hope you guys can join me for that. So I'm going to turn off recording, and then I will be uploading this into the class. Next week, join me, guys. That's why I'm doing this. Open for you. Questions, comments, your time with me.